Then, the final blow. A photo of my brother's tattooed wrist resting familiarly on my wife's thigh. It started with a simple ultimatum. My brother was no longer welcome in my home. I didn't shout or provide context. I just told my wife that if he walked through the door, I walked out. Within the hour, my phone was a war zone. My mother called me cruel. My father asked what was wrong with me, and my brother sent a single dismissive text. Relax. They had already cast me as the villain. No one bothered to ask for my side because they'd already bought into the one being told behind my back. 3 weeks prior, I still believed in my marriage. Then my wife became careful. It wasn't coldness. It was a calculated precision. Her phone became an extension of her hand, always angled away, a physical barrier between us. She would return from errands freshly showered, then wrap her arms around me and call me her safe place. I wanted to believe her. I desperately needed to. The illusion shattered when my phone died, and I borrowed hers for a business call. A notification from a contact named E flashed on the screen. I miss you already. I opened the thread, expecting a painful but standard affair. Instead, I found my life being dismantled in high definition. Photos taken in my own living room. Inside jokes I'd overheard but never understood. Then the final blow. A photo of my brother's tattooed wrist resting familiarly on my wife's thigh. When I finally confronted her, there was no screaming. She didn't even deny it. She just gave a small, chilling chuckle and said, "Well, I guess I don't have to deal with you anymore." She spoke about their year-long affair as if she were describing the weather, something that had simply happened. She told me Evan understood her in ways I couldn't, that I had been emotionally absent. She spoke about a future that didn't include me before I'd even processed the past. I left that night with a single bag and a vow of silence. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my friends. I certainly didn't tell him. Instead of exploding, I observed. I documented every message and date. I installed cameras in the house I legally owned. I watched my brother walk through my front door like he owned the place, and I watched my wife laugh with a genuine joy she'd long denied me. I also learned the narrative they were feeding our family, that I was unstable, cold, and frightening. I wasn't just being cheated on. I was being erased. When they finally decided to be honest, they framed it as an act of maturity. My brother actually had the nerve to thank me for being understanding about their love. I didn't argue. I just suggested we host one last Thanksgiving for the sake of closure. The house was full of family, laughter, and the smell of turkey. When it came time for the toast, I bypassed the speech and connected my phone to the big screen TV. I didn't say a word. I just let the evidence speak. A year of lies, voices, and photos played out in a silence so thick it was suffocating. My mother's hand went to her mouth. My father couldn't look up. My brother tried to speak, but the words died in his throat. My wife literally slid out of her chair, collapsing to the floor. I walked out before the first question could be asked. The divorce was clinical. The prenup held, the house was sold, and I vanished. My wife and Evan lasted 3 months. It turns out a relationship built on betrayal doesn't handle reality very well. He was reportedly shocked when she treated him the same way she'd treated me. My family treats me with a fragile caution now, like I'm a survivor of a rare, contagious disease. We don't mention my brother's name. I'm with someone else now. She doesn't treat transparency like a burden, and she doesn't flinch when I ask questions. For a long time, I thought that Thanksgiving was the end of my life. Now I realize it was the moment I stopped being a character in someone else's twisted script. For the first time in years, I actually trust the quiet.